Welcome, this is David Garcia, and today we're going to learn how to solve a system of equations graphically. Now, let's imagine the equations that are given to us are these ones. 0 equals 2y minus 16 minus 5x. The second equation is negative 4 equals negative x minus 2y. Now, if we want to graph this, first we need to have our equations in the slope-intercept form. Why? Because if we look at these equations, we cannot get any information from them. If we have our equations written in the slope-intercept form, we will have enough information to graph them. So, let's take the first equation and let's begin with the isolation process. So I'm going to copy it here. 0 equals 2y minus 16 minus 5x. And I am going to take these two terms and I am going to move them to the other side of the equation. So I will have 16 plus 5x equals 2y. Now, the 2 that is multiplying the y will go to the other side, dividing. So 16 divided by 2 is 8. 5 divided by 2 is 5 halves of x, and we end up with y. So we are done isolating the y. Let's just rewrite it. And we have our equation in the slope-intercept form. If you see, they have exactly the same format. So now we're going to do exactly the same thing for the second equation. So now this one here. So let's copy. Negative 4 equals negative x minus 2y. Now the negative 2y, let's move it to the other side. So we end up with 2y minus 4 equals negative x. We do exactly the same thing for the negative 4. So we end up with 2y equals negative x plus 4. Finally, this 2 that is multiplying the y will go to the other side, dividing. So we end up with y equals negative 1/2 of x plus 2. So now if you see, we have both of our equations written in the slope-intercept form. So now we can draw them. So let me draw my y-axis. There we go. And now my x-axis. All right. So y and x. So let's begin with the blue line. The blue line has its intercept at 0,8. So on the y-axis, let's go for that 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right here is my first point. Now, the second point is defined by, or can be found by the slope. If you see the slope that is 5 halves indicates that we will have to move 5 units upwards and 2 units to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here, and then 2 units to the right. So these are the 2 points that define the blue line. So now we can trace it, and there it is. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing for the black line. And the black line, the intercept occurs at 0,2. So let's look for that point. All right, here it is. And then the second point comes from the slope. In this case, it's negative, so that means that we will have to go downwards 1 unit and then 2 units to the right. So 1 unit downwards, 2 units to the right. Here we are. So now we can trace the black line. There it is. So now we have, there we go, the intersection. Right. And the point where they intersect, that is this one here, will be our solution, which is found if we do the counting 2 units to the left and 3 units upwards. So the solution for this system of equations will be -2, 3. And that's it. See you next class.